So I've just hit 100 subscribers and I've just recently got a new camera. You're probably thinking, how's this going to benefit the channel in the future as I continue to grow? Well, I'm going to be telling you in this video, so without further ado, let's get into it. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Thrillnet, and welcome to my 100 subscriber special. I know, wow, we've hit 100 subscribers. You know, we hit 50 subscribers back in June and we hit 100 subscribers in December. I know it was quite a while ago now, but I knew I wanted to make 100 subscriber special all along. It's just that I've not had the time to do it with me doing my end of year video. Speaking of which, this isn't going to be a video like the last one, you know, longest video going through how I've got from 50 to 100 subscribers and what I've done. The reason being that I discussed all that in my end of year sort of channel video that I'm sure many of you would have seen, but if you haven't, click the card up here in the top right to go and watch it, because it's definitely worth a watch. It's a long one, but it's a very emotional video and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It took ages to edit. I know I'm really selling this video, but I talk a lot in that video about sort of my developments over 2020 and my future plans in terms of the channel for 2021, which I'm going to be highlighting briefly in this video. However, that's not going to be mainly what this video is about. The main thing this video is going to be about is about a brand new camera I've just got, the DJI Pocket 2. In this video I'm going to highlight how the camera is going to benefit videos in the future and sort of the features of the camera and how they relate to that, because it's quite different to the camera I was using before. Video quality in the future, especially when I can get back to parks, and I know we're not sure when we're going to be able to get back in the moment, but when we can get back to parks, like, my vlogs are just going to improve so much. They're going to be so much more stable and just better quality in general, in terms of both the footage and just how I present my videos. And a lot of that is going to be down to this new camera, along with sort of how I've developed over the past year, as I discuss in detail in that sit down video I uploaded at the end of 2020. But I'm also, as I mentioned briefly, going to be talking about future developments in terms of the channel in a little bit of detail, not too much because I covered that in that end of year video, but just sort of from them what I've been thinking I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future until we can get back to parks. I should note that in the description I've got timestamps and video chapters, so be sure to refer to them in terms of navigating the video, so you can do so easily as well. But without further ado, let's get into the video. First of all, I know what you all may be thinking. What is the DJI Pocket 2? So the DJI Pocket 2 is essentially a gimbal camera. It basically means it features an attachment at the top that holds the actual camera lens itself, which records videos. This is different to my old camera, which is a Canon Legria HFR 706, which the lens is built into the main camera itself. So that is the main difference with this one. Like my other camera though, it features a screen, and the gimbal itself will move when you move the main camera. There's a bunch of different operating modes for that, where you can sort of lock the gimbal on different axes, because it has three axes. The gimbal can tilt, it can basically roll up and down, and it can move from side to side. So there are different modes to sort of limit the axis that it can move on. However, generally speaking, the gimbal moves in the direction of which you move the camera. So if you move the camera up, the gimbal will move up. You move it down, the gimbal will move down, and you move it from side to side, it will go side to side. And likewise, if you also tilt, providing you have those axes active, pretty much. Unlike my other camera as well, it can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second, and it does have a control stick for controlling the gimbal manually as well, so you can sort of offset it. I am, however, going to be recording in 1080p 60 frames per second, just to keep the file size to a minimum, as 4K videos in 60 frames per second are going to take up a ton of storage, and it is something I want to take into account. And in my opinion, 1080p is perfectly, you know, good quality, to be honest. So yeah, it's going to be replacing my other camera, which I will still use as a backup, say the battery in this runs out, but generally speaking, this camera is going to be replacing the other camera, so for vlogs, for sit down videos like this, because if you couldn't already tell, I am recording with my DJI Pocket 2 at the moment. So yeah, and it's also going to be used for taking Instagram photos, because I really want to get more into posting Instagram photos this year when we return to parks, obviously, and we can you know, take photos of coasters and parks again. Obviously we don't know at the moment when that's going to be. Blackpool opening days had to be pushed back already, with us being in a third national lockdown at the moment. But yeah, and those photos I will take in 4K, because they're not going to be, you know, photos aren't ridiculous file sizes anyways, unlike videos, so 4K photos should be fine file size wise. But you know, I may go down to 2.7K, which you can record in with this camera, or even 1080 if I find file sizes are getting a bit ridiculous. So after hearing all that, you may understandably be thinking, why did I switch to the DJI Pocket 2? Well, there's a number of reasons why, and the main reason is the motion tracking capabilities, or active track, sort of within this camera, with it being a gimbal camera. I mentioned before how the gimbal moves with the camera and is sort of a separate component. Well, in relation to that, it can also move independently without relying on the camera. I mentioned before about using the control stick sort of to move it up and down, or left to right. However, if you tap on the touch screen that the camera has, you can select objects within sort of the field of view, in which case the gimbal will then lock onto those and basically follow those if they move within the shot. So essentially this can be used for tracking moving objects. With me being visually impaired, for those who don't know, this could be very beneficial for tracking things like roller coasters when filming off-ride shots easily, without needing to sort of move my hand and move the camera. And this can be very difficult, especially when coasters are moving very fast. It could be very hard to sort of see the screen in my old camera, and that will still apply with this, especially because it is an even smaller screen than I had on my older camera. However, you know, I won't need to necessarily do that as much, because I can rely on the gimbal of this camera to track anything that's moving, whether it be, you know, a coaster, a flat ride or anything, and basically, you know, it'll follow that and then you know, adjust the shot accordingly, so that whatever's moving is always in the center, so it's going to be great. And then in terms of face tracking, the camera can also track faces. I don't have this switched on at the moment, but if it detects a face, it will basically track that. This means that, say, you know, I'm vlogging and I'm moving around, say I'm moving around corners and stuff like that, I won't need to sort of move the camera as such, you know, to keep my face in the shot. The gimbal will automatically follow that, so my face is always in the center. I don't have this switched on now because I'm just sat still, and if I was sort of to adjust myself in the shot like this, it would basically make it adjust the entire shot and then have my face in the center, and I don't want that at the moment. But it will prove very beneficial when I come to obviously film vlogs. Another major advantage of this new camera then over my old one is that it has a wide angle lens. My old camera did not have this, however this one has a lens that can basically detect up to 93 degrees in terms of its field of view, so it's very wide angled. Not as wide angle as my GoPro, which is literally the only thing that this camera is not replacing. I should mention that it's actually an action camera that isn't the GoPro brand. It's a different brand of action camera, but it has the same purpose essentially, as you will have seen from on-ride POVs that I put in vlogs and uploaded separately to the channel. But yeah, this is going to be great again with me being visually impaired. You know, it can sometimes be difficult for me to see the screen of my camera. It definitely was like that with the old one, and it's going to be the exact same with this one. Therefore, having a wide angle lens will help me in terms of basically ensuring things are in the shot. If I'm pointing the camera at something with a wide angle lens, there's a greater chance that, you know, it's going to pick that up. You know, even if I can't see the screen, you know, I can be assured more so that the camera's going to pick that up because of how wide the lens is. Another advantage then is actually how it copes with low light situations, this camera. My old camera did okay at sort of coping with this. There wasn't no like glare or anything like that. However, things often still appeared a little too dark. This camera is renowned for handling low light situations very well. I've tested this out and it did quite well. My only concern is that it picked up things a bit too brightly. However, this can easily be edited in editing, as is the case if the surroundings are too dark. However, it's just more editing really. It's better to have a camera that picks things up correctly by default. I won't be able to put this camera to its test properly in terms of that though until I visit an event such as Late Night Riding at Blackpool Pleasure Beach or Scarefest at Alton Towers, where I'm obviously going to be vlogging in the dark, but I do look forward to visiting those events. One, because I've not been to them before and I really want to get to them, but secondly to just see how this camera sort of performs in terms of getting some brilliant nighttime shots. Other advantages of this camera and my old camera include that it can record in high quality, so I can record in high quality if I want to, even though I said before that generally I'm not going to be, just because of potential file sizes. However, the functionality is there if I want it, so it was definitely a reason to upgrade. But I can also take photos in high quality as well, which I aim to do for my Instagram. And that's another major aspect of this camera that made me want to upgrade from my old one. Furthermore, the small size of this camera definitely encouraged me to upgrade to it. Although my other camera's small, it's pretty small to be honest, this one is even smaller, which is going to make things easier in terms of carrying it around theme parks, and it's just ideal for someone who goes around vlogging places. Well, I haven't been to any theme parks in the past year, but yeah, I aim to get back to some theme parks in the future, of course, when I can get back to them. If you're enjoying this video so far and you think that this camera is going to benefit the channel and you like what you're hearing, you're looking forward to future content, then be sure to smash that subscribe button below, because I'm aiming to get to 500 subscribers by the end of 2021. Also be sure to smash the like button, the big thumbs up button down below as well, because it really does help out the channel, and be very grateful if you did so. For those who are interested, I bought this camera off Amazon. It costs £331 on there as of when I'm recording this video. You can also buy a creator combo, which basically includes this camera as well as a bunch of other accessories. However, that is quite a bit more expensive at £469 on Amazon, and personally I didn't think it was worth buying the creator combo. It comes with a wireless microphone as well as a tripod and a bunch of other accessories. However, personally I didn't think it was value for money on top of the original camera. I will put links to everything in the description for anyone who is interested in purchasing this camera. In terms of future plans for the channel, as I mentioned in my 2020 reflections video, I aim to focus less on gaming content along with theme park content regarding theme parks outside the UK, so that I can appeal more to UK enthusiasts and just people who are interested in UK theme parks in general. Yes, even those who still think that
the Infusion's similar to that Nemesis ride at Alton Towers with all those loop-de-loops and things.
Don't worry if you're not that familiar with UK theme parks and all the geeky terminology that you may have heard used before and things like that. I'm here for you guys. I want to appeal to everyone with an interest in UK theme parks, and I'll definitely be ensuring, I account for that in my videos. I can confirm that Thrillcraft and the Planet Coaster for Ride Dummies series will be put on hold for the time being. I will go back to them, it's just that I want to develop the channel more in terms of UK theme parks in particular and doing videos associated with those, and I feel like that I could develop my channel more that way, just because I have more video ideas in that sort of area rather than the Thrillcraft and Planet Coaster for Ride Dummies side of things. I will bring those series back in the future. It's just that I primarily want to focus on UK theme park content, and I don't necessarily want to be known as a theme park gamer. Theme park gamer. Theme park gamer.
Ah! Creep! Oh!
Speaking of which, I have no plans for Minecraft Quest to Build a Roller Coaster to be returning anytime soon, and that series will be put aside for the time being. Since recording my 2020 Reflections video when I last referred to this, me and Ella have not discussed any plans regarding that further. Therefore, there's nothing in place for that at the moment. However, I will keep you guys updated on that one. I'm also going to be cutting down my uploads from 3 times a week to 2 times a week for the time being, just so that I don't run out of video ideas. I want to make sure that that doesn't happen, because obviously with everything that's going on at the moment, we're not sure when theme parks are going to reopen in the UK now. And I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get back to theme parks, and it seems like it's going to be later than I thought when I recorded my 2020 Reflections video, with the latest developments with the current situation. On Wednesdays I'm going to be uploading shorts, whereas on Saturdays I'm going to be uploading regular videos, and that will continue for the foreseeable future. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and be sure to leave a like by smashing the thumbs up button below, because it really does help out the channel. As I mentioned previously, I've got lots of content planned for you guys surrounding UK theme parks, including some surprises that you may or may not be expecting, so there's plenty to look forward to. Be sure to comment down below what you're most looking forward to seeing on the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.